Spoken words. We're your MCs. This is Jen and I'm Jay.
So once again, we'll just kind of go over some rules if you guys weren't here for the first block. If you hear something that you like while the poet is speaking, you can snap their hands.
And then if there's something you're not a big fan of, maybe don't boo, because that's a little harsh, but you can kind of go, not my thing. Make a little noise like that.
And then, once the judges put out their scores, you can either say higher or lower, depending on what you think their marks should be.
Let them know what you think. And so, without further ado, I guess we'll just go to our poet.
First up, for this block, we have Tanner with Being Free.
Imagine this. Your clothes are wet, soaking wet, clinging to your body like a second skin. It's hard to move, uncomfortable, just plain horrible. Now imagine that you can't take it off at all. You're stuck in it until you can be free. But what if being free doesn't happen for 2, 3, 4, 5 years? That's what dysphoria feels like to me. I'm in a body or skin, but it's not mine, and I just want to take it off and be myself. The demons in my head are slowly piling up like bricks in a wall, all stuck together. If one is removed, then there's a hole, a weak point. Now imagine someone hammering at that one weak spot. The whole wall will break into little pieces, and the enemy will get in, and everything is lost and gone. Anxiety, depression, social anxiety, and OCD are like that wall. One thing is missing in my brain, that little piece of serotonin, and see what happens? The whole wall breaks down and the enemy comes and welcomes itself in, using your body as a castle with new rules and restricting you from doing the things you love. Let's say you want to go out, have fun with friends, but no, the king in the castle pokes you with a stick and reminds you that your friends might not like you anymore. And the butler reminds you that you forgot to lock your door and now your house is getting robbed. And the princess wants you to stay inside and play. So obviously you can't go out now. I mean, what's the point if you have so many other things to do? Except they aren't real. The things I have to do aren't real. My friends don't hate me and my door is locked. But what if? What if there's another attack and I'm not in the safety of my own home and an enemy strikes? I drop everything. Because in that one moment that I look fine, I'm dying inside. All the enemies are climbing on me and destroying my system, making a war. And when a savior comes, the army attacks, full force, not letting the happiness come in. Because to them, if there's happiness, that means I'll leave them. And there will be no one for the princess to play with, no one for the king to poke, and no one for the butler to stay up with and have sad, distressing late-night talks with. But now, where does the dysphoria come in? Oh, right, the flag. The flag, waving for everyone to see. What everyone sees is a young girl who's just tomboyish. They don't see what's behind that flag, a shy trans boy who just wants acceptance.
All right, judges, scores in 3, 2, and 1. We've got a 4.5, a 4, a 4, a 4, and a 4. Give it up for the poet, not the points. So next we have Quinn Bassey with Scars.
Just a little bit. Thanks. Scars. Scars sit upon me, long, short, or wide. Scars rob us of the moments. Sorry, my tablet turned off. Okay. Scars. Scars sit upon us, long, short, or wide. Scars bring out the deepest of memories that may have robbed us of our pride. Some stick with us forever, or some fade and are forgotten, but scars are your fate, and nothing can stop them. Scars make you who you are, because no two scars are the same. Scars leave people full of regret or full of blame. Scars can tell a story that a mouth cannot. Hiding your scars would simply mean you don't talk a lot. Scars are what make you you, and I know you love you too. So next time a scar appears on the surface of your skin, rather than covering it up in sin, let eyes see it so it can tell the story within. A brand new baby is born without a single scar. That's because as life goes on, they'll soon find out who they are. And as life goes on, more and more scars will appear until you're old and frail and have so many scars you'll have nothing to fear. But until then, we live for fun and we run and play without thinking what scars might end up sitting upon us that day. There's another type of scar that is invisible to the eye, the ones that will tear you apart on the inside. But just as the scars that lay on the surface, don't try and cover these scars up on purpose. For these scars are the ones that shape you, take you, and can make or break you. But only if you let them. Even though these scars hurt the most, it's easy to forget them. Because these scars don't hold a permanent place on your body. They're inside a place with unlimited space, so don't let these scars fill that space. Instead, stare them in the eye and look them face to face. Scars can show personality that a mouth cannot express. When you accept your scars, you're setting yourself up for success. These are your scars, and you own them, which ultimately means it should be easy to control them. Every scar has a story, so wear your scars proud. Let them tell a story, and let them tell it out loud.
Judges, put your scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We have a 3.5, a 3.5, a 3.5, a 3.5, and a 4. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Up next we have Ashiana and Elisa doing I Didn't Realize.
I didn't realize.
I peaked too soon in my career.
I was over-empathizing out of fear. I didn't realize how big of an impact one person could make on me.
How they were overlooking the friend in me.
I didn't realize how being there for someone could come with a price.
How being happy comes with the sacrifice. But I thought I was
making them
happy. Here's where it all starts, with the easy parts.
I have the appearance of what I want to be perceived as. I own the things that everyone else has.
I wear my smile like it's my favorite accessory, not realizing I'm wasting it unsparingly.
I laugh at all the uneasy jokes that come out like spitfire, exploding with smoke.
I listen to all the things you have to say. We never have any rough days. We walk the halls row by row.
It looks like I'm witnessing some kind of a show.
I live in a bubble that doesn't have the capacity to be popped. Until one day, this all stopped.
I have the friends that are all well known. I rarely ever am alone.
Until I am.
Happiness was like a firework, coming all at once, only appearing during the festive months. So beautiful, so bold, and so loud, but then disappearing so quick without making a sound. With the absence of sound,
I didn't realize. And you made me small with just my luck. I made room for your fears, and it left me stuck. Between the moments, the highs, the lows, you dragged me down with nowhere to go. At the bottom of the hole, I put my smile back on. Everyone watching thought my despair was gone. All alone,
I didn't realize. It left holes in my heart, but not the perfect ones that you find in art. You pulled out the gaps with my insecurities. You pulled out the pieces so unevenly. This, like art, was on display. Trapped, I thought I had to stay.
I didn't realize. Tossed aside, yet barely used. Like a book. Once you read me, you threw me away.
After everything you put me through,
witnessing all the exclusions happening right in front of me, wishing I didn't have to see, crushing all the emotions inside of me, I just wanted to be free. At the time,
I didn't realize.
Forcing me to shut myself out, filled with immense self-doubt. Hiding beneath my sorrows, I kept saying I'd come out tomorrow. But I didn't have the strength to go this great length, so I suffered so silently, my only weight being anxiety, so silently.
I didn't realize, lying awake at night, trying to relieve the pain, tears falling out like a storm coming in with the rain, strong enough to bring the lightning, but too weak to ease the frightening. The wind blew me over. I didn't realize.
My voice died down to a whisper, too quiet for anyone to figure. My emotions were kept behind the walls until I pushed them down and let them fall. There. Confrontation came spilling out like a long overdue shout, no single doubt.
The agony of what was happening filled my lungs. Every shaking breath I took stung. Then it came to me so suddenly. The solution was right in front of me. We didn't realize we had to breathe, and when we did, we felt so free. realization, the fulfillment and the achievement of what I wanted, what I needed, came over me like a wave, expressing how I was being treated. Happiness, I am content where I am.
I know I am.
I know I am making them happy. And I never realized
how easy it is to breathe when a negative presence is surrounding me. When your harsh, cold breath left my shoulders,
my lungs were the pain and my heart became warmer so I could open myself up to people again. But I know now to not let them take reign, because losing someone that you didn't know you needed can make you feel irrelevant or less unheeded, and I never realized
that it's okay to let people go and not keep them around just for show. Because take it from me, you don't need those people in life. And freeing yourself from the poison, it can help you see the light.
I don't need to dress my feelings up when I'm feeling down, to surround myself with people I don't even need around. I don't need to stay quiet and keep my voice on low,
to let them take me places I don't want to go.
I don't need to keep my baggage locked up and only be used as a backup. I don't need a crowd to make myself feel whole.
I don't need to fake my emotions and play a role.
I don't need to be recognized by people who see me as worthless. I have realized fully inside me that I am worth it. I have realized.
All right, judges, scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We've got a 4.5, a 4, a 4, a 4, and another 4. Give it up for the poet, not the points. So next, we have Matilda Roberts with To You.
I love you. You've given me everything I need. You're the epitome of excellent. You're what I aspire to be. Almost. You feed, raise, and protect me, but did I turn out how you wanted? Did you want me in the first place? You're my best friend, my heart, but you tear me apart. Everyone loves you, and I don't blame them. The things you say when they're around, who wouldn't see the perfection? But is it really you? You say I can tell you anything, but when I do, you turn me down. My feelings don't mean anything, and you toss them all around. How come you act so nice? But when they're gone, that won't suffice. No phone, no connection, no love. Better off to stay in my cozy room you've given me, but even then I'm too cold. Cold from the lack of compassion that surrounds me. I'm not complaining, because I know I couldn't do that. Every time I do, you make me feel so bad and say back, I do so much for you. Look around. What else do you want? And you're right, you've given me so much, so why do I resist when people tell me to be happy? We have good times when you're happy and feel guilty for not seeing me in a while. Everything feels back to normal. Of course, that changes. The love turns into hate. The comfort turns into blackmail. Do you love me? Never mind. Of course you do. Right? Because you're there for me one moment and turn your back the next. I'm not even worried about a boy breaking my heart because you've already done it so many times. My heart's numb, so I'm sorry I don't feel the feelings you expect me to feel. The feelings my friends feel towards someone like you. The feelings a young girl should feel towards someone like you. The feelings that you wish for, the feelings that are fake. You send me more mixed messages than any boy I've liked, but I don't know anyone who can relate. Every time I see my friends with their families, I can't help but tear up thinking of mine. You made me question myself, and even now, saying this to a room full of people, I'm guilty. Sorry. But at least I know it's the truth. Didn't you always teach me to tell the truth, to be honest, and to never lie? So how come you let me lie to you all these years? And something that I will never, ever be able to tell to your face. The reason I have anxiety is you, and I'm not here to blame you. I'm not here to complain, but what else can I do? I try to tell you how I feel, and you don't see it as real. Have you eaten today? Have you taken the dog out? Stop texting your friends about how you feel. Do you really think they care? No. No, I don't. I don't think anyone cares at this point, but I'd rather talk to them than listen to you scream. I know they won't listen because they don't believe me when I say you're mean. Because when they come around, we have to put on our masks with bright, shiny smiles and act like a family. A family. In the dictionary, family is defined as a group of people who genuinely love, trust, and care for one another, but how come you don't trust me? How come this empty house feels cold and uncared for? How come I feel cold and uncared for? And yes, I cry a lot, but it's because there's too much to cry about. I don't think you understand that I can't help but feel hurt when the awful things you say to me I know are true. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I've said. I'm sorry you don't see how I feel. I'm sorry you will never understand. And I'm sorry that I will never have the chance to go back and grow up with a mother that will truly understand and care for me. Mama, I love you. But I fear you hate me, and I fear I hate you too.
Judges, put your scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We have a 4.5, a 4.5, a 4.5, a 4, and a 4.5. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Up next, we have Laylee Ingelson with Letter to My Stepdad.
Dear, my dearly departed, I've never liked goodbyes. I usually say see you soon or later. If I had one more chance with you, I would tell you everything I wish I had, like I'm sorry I didn't say happy birthday to you, and I'm sorry I was mad at you. And maybe I would say goodbye. I never thought I would lose you. The emptiness of your absence is like having a house with no rooms. I stare at the vacant seat at the kitchen table, visualizing the laughs that used to fill the air. In its place, replaced by the crying of my mother and the silence of myself, because words cannot describe my pain. I hear your name. My dream believed that this was all just a misunderstanding. You're gonna walk through that door and say, sorry I was gone for so long, got stuck in traffic. But then I wake up to find this empty earth all the same, and I sit here jealous of the heavens for getting the pleasure to be in your company. I miss you. I find myself looking through old text messages, pictures, videos. I miss you. I thought I saw your car down the road. I miss you. I thought I heard your voice. I miss you. 52 days. The feeling of loss is as follows. Black Tim stuck in a damp mud at the cemetery when I should have been at the service. The tears that ran down my face the day she said you're no longer with us. The pain of a tattoo gun carving your name in my forearm, praying till my knees bleed. But that's the thing about loss. No matter how much I pray, no matter how strong my faith is, I can never pray your way back home. But what is a home without you? I find myself asking you questions like, are you proud of me? But more importantly, how do you want me to tell your story? Ibrahim Amjad Ibrahim died October 10th, left behind a wife, a daughter, and a beloved stepdaughter. Maybe I'd include how you loved comics and that we always watched DC cartoons together, but seeing a comic now, flipping through the pages, never leaves my eyes dry. So how could I write when the paper keeps getting wet? I took out my pen and hoped it wouldn't smudge. But as soon as the pen hit the paper, it was all just a puddle of black. I want you back, from your stepdaughter.
Judges, put your scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We've got a 4.5, a 5, a 5, a 5, and a 4.5. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Next, we've got Jocelyn Ng with Can We Autocorrect Humanity? Did you know the average person spends 4 years of their lives looking down at their cell phones? Kind of ironic, ain't it? How these touchscreens can make us lose touch. But it's no wonder in a world filled with iMacs, iPads, iPhones, so many I's, so many selfies, not enough us's and we's. See, technology has made us more selfish and more separated than ever. Because while it claims to connect us, connection has got no better. Let me explain first. Mr. Zuckerberg, not to be rude, but you should reclassify Facebook to what it is, an anti-social network. Because while many of us have big friend lists, so many of us are friendless, all alone, because friendships are more broken than the screens on our very phones. We sit at home on our computers measuring self-worth by the number of likes and follows. It seems we'd rather write an angry post than talk to someone who might actually love us. Because I asked a friend the other day, let's meet up face to face. He said, all right, when you want to FaceTime. I responded with OMG and a bunch of SMHs and realized, what about me? Do I not have the patience to have conversation without abbreviation? This generation of media overstimulations. Chats have been reduced to snaps. The news is 140 characters. Videos are 6 seconds at high speed, and you wonder why ADD is on the rise faster than 4G LTE. But get a load of this. Studies have shown the attention span of the average adult today is 1 second lower than that of a goldfish. Let me finish by saying you do have a choice, yes. But this one, my friends, we cannot autocorrect. We must do it ourselves. Take control or be controlled. Make a decision. Me, no longer do I want to waste a precious moment by recording it on my phone. I'm just going to keep them. I don't want to take a picture of all my meals anymore. I'm just going to eat them.
I don't want the new app, the new update, the new software, and if I want to post an old photo of myself, who says I have to wait until Thursday? I'm so tired of conforming to this accepted form of digital insanity. Call me crazy, but I imagine a world when we smile when we have low battery, because that means we'll be one bar closer to humanity.
Judges, put your scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We have a 4, a 3.5, a 3, and a 3. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Up next, we have Tyler Owens with Mental Health.
It is not that I don't want to be happy. It's despite how hard I try, I cannot bring myself to be happy. Why did it have to be this way? I feel suffocated, embarrassed, ashamed. I have a great family, amazing friends, and a good academic result on paper. Everything is okay. All I see is sadness and gray. It's like there's a burning omni pulling me to the ground, and no matter how hard you try, you can't bring myself out. I can't bring myself to care about anything. Not me, not him, not her. Living has become this constant nightmare, and it's just not fair. Society will tell me to try going for a walk or listen to meditation. I tell them this cannot be solved by exercise and medication. It's a disease that affects every aspect of my life, my work, my relationships, my education. And despite my best efforts to explain, I'm always blind with hesitation. People ask me why. Why are you always so sad? I tell them I don't know. What I do know is that I wake up every day feeling like absolute nothing, and it's become my norm. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid of putting my guard down. I'm not in the fear that I will be judged for something I cannot control. Whereas in the funerals of it all, do you think I can like to watch myself fall into this world of hate, shame, and lows, so I had them. I put up this wall so high that you'll never see my pain or any of my flaws. I create this character and she's perfect. She's invincible, so I carry her on living these two lives, one for the public and one for me late at night because it's easier than admitting that I have a problem, and that is the problem. The stigma is real, and we need to realize that mental health is a big deal. It affects so many lives. Wake up and listen to these silent cries. It's a kid that never speaks, the guy who's always tired, the woman who's too emotional, or the guy who just got fired because he was absent a lot. Due to this mental health, depression is inside of us and it eats us up daily, and one day maybe it'll go away. Thank you.
Judges, scores up in 3, 2, and 1. So we've got a 4, a 3.5, a 3.5, a 3.5, and a 4. Give it up for the poet, not the points. So next we have Morgan Kosola with Stained Smiles.
They told her to smile. But how can a broken girl smile when for such a long while, every time she looked into a mirror or caught the slightest glance of herself in the window of that beautiful coffee shop across the street that she loved oh so much? All she could think of was how she was so much bigger and how she would never, ever have that perfect figure or those perfect clothes or that perfect hair that she sadly wanted ever so badly. So desperate to achieve this look that seemed to suddenly be found in some book she wanted to find, but was starting to think that she was just blind. But blind girls can still smile, right? Little did she know that all of this blindness was coming from that non-existent amount of kindness, coming at her like a war just before her fingertips. The touch of her fingertips among that iPhone set such a tone, making it feel like she was holding nothing but a worthless stone. looking at herself in that pitch black screen, another reminder that she's no queen. She's not perfect. She's not that unrealistic person that was created to worsen her confidence. She tells herself every single day that she's doing something wrong and that she doesn't belong. She tells herself that she is supposed to look pretty and proper and act so incredibly polite just so that the others around her can get this insight that she is how she should be. So she smiles. She smiles and smiles because it's said to be a part of the new style to smile as if there were a trial to see who could smile for the longest while. Now, going back to that coffee shop, that beautiful coffee shop that she loved, the one with the ever so perfectly built structure, leaving her feeling warm and happy, until she realized that the coffee was nothing but a pain because of its stain. The stain it left on her unusual attire, like the stain these expectations have left to set fire to the perseverance of her appearance and to the awareness of this unfairness. But she continues. She continues to smile through the pain and the stain she's put upon, though most of her happiness is gone. She smiles anyway because tomorrow will be a new day. It will be a new day, so maybe it won't be so gray. But she will visit that same beautifully structured coffee shop and she will deal with the stains even though they bring so many pains. She smiles anyway and prays that she will be able to keep her smile for at least a little while.
Judges, put up your scores in 3, 2, and 1. We have a 3.5, a 4, a 4, a 4, and a 4.5. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Up next, we have Haley Butcher with words.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will always hurt me. The words that corrupt, the words that are powerful yet so devastating, making, taking, breaking that feeling of love, the feeling of hope. Ugly, fat, stupid, never enough. These are the words that stick. These are the words that spit out of our mouths in anger. These are the words that make us cry, that make us break more than we should when they are thrown our way. These hateful words are the sayings that society has created for us to shame ourselves, made to make us think we are not the definition of perfect. Perfect. A word of its own. But did you not realize it was made to disown? Society says it's a compliment, but is it really? Because little do you know, the girl you called perfect thinks she will never uphold the expectations. She's drowning in the work her mother cannot take. Her brother's life is at stake. She begins to quake. Perfectly. These words that judge us, judge others without even knowing the whole story. Because stories are just a bunch of words with a beginning, middle, and end. So when will I flip the page for these harsh words to say the end? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will always tear me apart. The feeling of pain like an arrow to the heart. Words that start out small and quiet, but by the end of the day are screaming out, I hate you. These are the words that are unfixable, unforgettable, and oh so regrettable. The thing is, you can't take back what is said. It's permanent marker on the blank sheet of life. Nothing can erase these words that seen us to be who we are, sculpting us into the words we are called, defining us. Are these not the words that make us strong, tear us down so we have to rebuild what is left? Chipping away the good things in life. These are the words that bring us closer to the knife. The words that make us scared to be who we are. Put us in a corner and yell not to come out until we agree. We will never, ever be good enough. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will always make me regret. Regret the day I ever came to be. You make it sound like I was never supposed to see the true me. Your words are the shadows of darkness that cast away my vision of light. Hating, waiting, praying for these words to stop. When will they stop? When can I hear the words that lift us up? The words that are beautiful, of encouragement. The words that are filled with joy, that are made to inspire. The words that bring a smile to your face as they dance out of your mouth. The words that are beautiful, hopeful, and true. Why are the words of love thrown aside when they are the words we need to hear the most? The words that influence us to be who we want to be and not what others want to see. The words that say, I love you. The words that spread warmth across your body, mending those broken bones. The words that make us smile over and over again. Words should not be used as hate, not to discriminate. Because words are the sparks that cause the wars, but what are we really fighting for? The chance to speak up. The chance to have a voice. The chance to use words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words mean nothing to me.
Judges, put your scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We've got a 4.5, a 4.5, a 4.5, a 5, and a 4. Give it up for the poet, not the points. So next we've got Angelina Burton with Fake Friends.
Friends, or should I say friends, people who, although they seem nice on the surface, they're like crows once you leave that nest, bad omens, but you didn't see the signs until after they did you dirty. They only ask you to hang out when they want something from you. They'll leave your conversation as soon as their other friend enters the room. You've heard them talking about you behind your back. You don't tell them your problems because you know they'll just one-up you. By the end of the day, you're tired. You spill all your emotions out for them, and they give you one-word answers in reply. Okay, sure, yep. You have no idea if it's sarcasm or they just really hate you. And maybe, who knows, years ago, you two were best friends, inseparable, but high school hit and something clicked, something changed. Lights turned off, and now you're merely strangers passing in the hallways. Where there was once laughter and smiles, there's awkward tension. But you can't leave because you made so many promises so many years previous. It's like betraying your fourth grade selves to leave this friendship, but now you're miserable. In denial that anything's changed, you want to leave, but something is bringing you back, some magnets pulling you to them. And there you see them changing right in front of your eyes, changing into someone you never thought they'd be, someone you never wanted them to be. But sometimes they are the only thing you have close enough to a friend, so you just end up hurting yourself. Sure, you'd be way better without them, but then you'd be alone. But then again, by doing this, you're just detaching yourself from anyone who would be so much better for you than this friend. These friends pretend they care for you and love you and it conveniences them, but as soon as you need some support, they drop like flies and you're left in the cold in the middle of nowhere to fend for yourself now. What kind of friend does this? The bad ones, the ones you should avoid but can't because you lose everything. Everything except for your happiness, your trust in people, your life. You can't see you're hurting, you can't see you deserve so much more than these fake friends, but trust me. Others can see it as clear as the tears running down your cheeks at night because way in the back of your brain, you know you shouldn't treat yourself like this, yet you put yourself through this obstacle course, this maze to find true happiness. Even if you don't see it yet, you will. Fake friends are destructive. They ruin people the way they view themselves. Fake friends make people think they aren't worth a real friend, but everyone is worth a real friend. Just know that.
Judges, put your scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We have a 4.5, a 4.5, a 5, a 5, and a 4.5. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Up next, we have Isabella Bose with Dear Present Me.
Dear Present Me. You know, the funny thing is that the next time you read this, present me will become past me. You will have changed just like the tree across the street from where you live. You don't notice it much, but when you do, it's always different than before. Remember when the leaves were a vibrant green, the sky was blue and the sun made your skin glow? Now your lips are chapped, your mood swings like a monkey, and the wind seems to have blew all the leaves off, which means things are changing. But don't worry, it's not always a bad thing. After all, change is just a side effect of time passing. So, dear present me, time is passing. That's why I need you to open your eyes and get out of your room. There's a whole world out there waiting for you. Perhaps this tree can be your reminder to stop and notice all the beauty. That being said, dear present me, beauty is diverse. Just because you don't look like the girls on your Instagram feed doesn't mean you're not pretty. You may have been brainwashed into thinking that a thin waist and light eyes are the epitome of beauty, but fitting into a lock isn't key. Although fireworks in the ocean's tide do not look alike, both are beautiful. What use does it give you to compare? Society's standards were bound to be unfair. Therefore, dear present me, all your life you've been asked the question, what are you? A question where the only logical response would be human? This question, though, lets you know that your face confused not only yourself, skin not white nor black, hair not straight nor coily, but it confused others around you. Although your race does not define you, it is part of who you are. You are French, you are proud, you are black, you are proud. Dear present me, dear present me, don't let the fact that others may deem you as angry or too opinionated get in the way of you using your voice. Sometimes it may shake and quiver and be hard to understand, but trust me, it still works. That's why, like every teacher you've ever had has told you, I encourage you to use it and find the power within it. There is power within it. At this point of your life, it's okay to have no clue about who you are about or who you want to be, and it's okay to be lost, and it's okay to be afraid of what is yet to come. That being said, to close off this letter, dear present me, you are good enough. Despite the little voice in your head that shouts that you are not, despite how many times you find yourself on the brink of giving up because of how awful you think you are, despite how many times you think of how annoying you could be for your peers, you are good enough. And this poem itself is good enough because in it is you, and putting you into everything you do is what makes you good enough. With much love, Isabella.
All right, judges, scores up in 3, 2, 1. We've got a 4, a 4, a 4.5, a 4.5, and a 4. Give it up for the poet, not the points. So next we've got Serena Obeid with She Was a Flower.
It's not often you meet amazing people in your life. It's not often you feel a special connection with someone, but when you do, you will never forget them. She was a flower, first planted to the ground and slowly grew into a beautiful blossoming creature. The stem was sturdy, rarely ever broken down, but there's a time when a flower dies, when it's no longer able to stand up by itself, when it has fallen down. And petal by petal, she fell ill, but was still the beautiful flower she has always been. She grew for 90 years, and I remember in 2009 was the last time I saw her. The sparkle in her eyes, her smile, and the slight tears dripping down her face because we rarely saw each other. But I didn't know the next year would be her end. An end where I wished the tears in my eyes could water her back to life, but it was too late. I wish the sun had come out on the day her last petal fell so I could buy enough time so I could see her once more, but I won't be able to see my great-grandmother ever again. I'm sure you all have this one person in your life that brought you so much joy and power. Even when she was the weakest flower, she gave you a petal. When she was sick, old, and in pain, she would do anything for you, anything for me. She couldn't pronounce my name, but she tried. She couldn't speak English, but she tried. She couldn't do everything, but she tried, and at least she tried. That's what I appreciated about her. She tried her best, even if the wind was too strong, she stood her ground, and she's the most caring, passionate, and beautiful person I've ever met in my life. Anyone who has met her could say the same. But what I appreciated the most was the little things we did together. How we used to wrap the desserts with banana leaves and talk about life, do everything together and nothing getting old, and I remember the way she talked. Her voice was cracky, but her words were wise. I listened ever so closely because I wanted to hear everything she said, but I wish I listened even closer because I haven't heard her voice since then. Even if the time we spent together was short, I know she'll always be in my heart. Even if my tears still fall, they are falling for the new flowers being grown, and I hope to one day grow as beautiful as she did. Maybe one day, someone will have the same impact as she did in my life, but she will forever and always be my flower.
Put your judges up, judges, put your scores up in 3, 2, and 1. We have a 4.5, a 4.5, a 4, a 4, and a 4.5. Applaud the poet, not the points. Up next, we have Jana Grant with Yellow.
Thank you. Yellow. Yellow rolls off the tip of my tongue like my sister's name, providing familiarity and family. Yellow is like an ice cream cone on a hot summer's day. Drip, drop, it melts into the pavement, the sweet, sticky liquid woven into the cracks of the concrete. But I could never be yellow. Yellow is the flower that sprouts from the ground in spring. It shows its face to the big, bright world, and you pick it for her. Yellow is the smile she gives you when you hand her that flower and she says, "I love you," and means every word. But I could never be yellow. Yellow is the sun that is the core of our existence. We revolve around this golden perfection. Yellow is the twinkle in your eye as you glance this way, mischievous, sided with the devil, yet believed to be an angel. But I can't be yellow. Yellow is the rainbow after the storm that shows that there is always good to come. Yellow is that odd little bookstore, the one that has all the classics that you read over and over and over again because they give you your sense of happily ever after. But I can't be yellow. Yellow is the star in the darkness that guides my way because I am a dreamer. And I get lost, but I look at that star and I find you, but I can't be yellow. Because I am blue. I'm a shade of blue. Not too dull, dare I say. Bold, perhaps. Scared, nevertheless. I'm awkward and nervous, but passionate and strong. And when you see blue, you see the storm before the rainbow. You see the darkness. You see that time you stayed up until 3 a.m. crying, for God's sakes. Think again. As I am the blue of the puddle you jump in your oversized rain boots, laughing, soaking, drip, drop, the rain falls. And I'm the blue of the sky after dawn. A calming sense of happiness floods the sky, showing you that there are never bad days, only bad moments. I am the blue of the oceans that cover this earth that some call home, some call paradise, but I call it an adventure. I'm the blue of your favorite sweater, the one you wear always to remind yourself who you are, because blue is beautiful. And I can't be yellow, but I just might like being blue.
All right, judges, scores in 3, 2, 1. And we've got 5s all across the board. And give it up for the poet, not the points. All right, so that's everyone. But now the judges have the hard decision of picking winners for each grade. So I guess just hang tight for a bit, you guys. Anyone know any jokes? Yeah. Let's go. We're waiting. Jenna's so good. Jenna's so good at this. God damn it. Huh? Yeah, yeah.
Just how she was performing it and having to listen to the red hair too, they just made me think of Meg.
Yeah. I'm so excited for my spoken word tomorrow. Let's just do Rent right now.
What?
Rent right now, entertain them.
You're funny, man. Let's not.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
think the
not.
entire school needs to hear me sing right now with my Invisalign.
Yeah, I know, me neither. Not with my Invisalign, but with my sick.
With your sick.
My
And
sick.
your spiritual.
My garlic. Leave me and my garlic alone.
You're warding off the vampires.
Not vampires. Sickness. I think it's going to be Claire and Jenna. I have no idea about the 9s, though.
Yeah, I can't remember what their names were. That'd be awkward if they could just talk in the
It's okay. We would be able to hear it.
I just went.
How much your mother? I just watched this one episode. When they sit in New Zealand, at like the New York Museum or whatever. There's this one part, or if you sign up one part through, somebody on the other end of the big room can hear you say it, so he's whispering really bad words, the main character.
I love How I Met Your Mother. I have to. He said that we have to tell everyone to go back to their homerooms, but Langford's Convo 10 class needs to meet over there. Are we ready? Come on, you guys. This will take a long time.
It always takes a long time.
I guess it's only been like 2 minutes. It feels like a long time. I just looked at my clock and it's been like 2 minutes. Freaking Caleb. He came up to me. Did you see that?
Yeah. He was too nervous, right?
He just didn't want to do it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because he went to Dan.
Well, technically he wasn't even on the list though, so like...
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, I felt so bad because like I honestly thought when I first saw this that they were a group because there wasn't any lines to separate them. So I had them organized, just like, just be with your group, like it doesn't really matter. But...
My eye is twitching. Can you see it?
No.
I feel it. It's like vibrating.
It's fine.
I hope we get to announce the winners.
I don't know. Do they know we have to?
I can't remember. Did we do it? I know. I can't remember who announced it. Do we get to announce it?
Do you want to announce it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do the grade 9s.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just going to say one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for doing it. Sherry's going to laugh at me. We are just about to announce our winners. And I just want to say thank you to everyone on the stage here. It takes a lot of courage to sit up here. So for the grade 9s, in second place, it's Emily Bollick Kruger.
And then in first place for the 9th grades is Carly Traub.
For the grade 10s, the runner-up is Jana Gratt.
This is actually a tie, and it's the first time we've done this. They both had the same score.
Yeah. All right, well then, the first winner is Jenna Grant, and the other winner is Claire Noble.
Yes. We just want to also have a final thank you for our fabulous MCs, Jay and Jenna, alliteration.
And then Mr. McKenzie asked me to say that. So. Okay. And then just a reminder, everyone go back to your D block class and Miss Langford's Convo 10 class, meet over there, I guess. Yeah.
And if you're in English right now for D block, you need to stay.
Anything else?
Bye, everyone. Have a good afternoon.